Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo have been making headlines recently, but not just for their incredible performances. Fans and the internet have been buzzing about their strange behavior ever since they started working together on the movie Wicked. At first glance, it seemed like two co-stars forming a close bond, but things quickly escalated into something far more unusual. The way they interact with each other during interviews and red carpet appearances has left people questioning whether their connection is strictly professional or something more. The internet quickly picked up on these moments, turning them into viral memes and videos that have been shared millions of times. Some of the clips are genuinely funny, like Cynthia acting overly protective of Ariana, but others make fans wonder if something serious is going on behind the scenes. It all seems to have started during the press tour for Wicked in November 2024. People noticed Ariana and Cynthia acting in ways that were unusual, overly emotional, and exaggerated. Their interactions were so extreme that it led to countless memes and speculation online. Observers pointed out that the two seemed unnaturally close for co-stars, almost as if they were trying too hard to show affection or connection. Around this same time, fans also began noticing drastic physical changes in both actresses. Ariana had lost a noticeable amount of weight and appeared pale and sickly. Cynthia experienced a similar transformation, becoming extremely thin and fragile in appearance. The changes were so extreme that many began to fear for their health, joking that it was as if their souls had been drained during filming. These changes weren't subtle. Before filming Wicked, both Ariana and Cynthia looked healthy, vibrant, and full of life. After the filming process and throughout promotional events, the difference was stark. Ariana seemed to have lost weight rapidly, and Cynthia mirrored her transformation. The internet started calling this phenomenon the curse of Wicked, drawing parallels to the experiences of actors from The Wizard of Oz. During interviews, Cynthia often acted as if she were Ariana's protector, stepping in whenever someone got too close or even touched Ariana lightly. One moment went viral where an interviewer merely touched Ariana's arm, and Cynthia immediately removed his hand and comforted Ariana, who reacted as if she had been seriously hurt. The overprotectiveness continued beyond interviews. Fans at events reported Cynthia getting defensive whenever someone approached Ariana, sometimes even shoving people away. These extreme reactions raised more questions than answers. Observers speculated whether the actresses were simply method acting to sell the film, or if something more sinister was happening behind the scenes. The timing of these transformations and behaviors strongly suggested a link to the filming process itself. Looking back at history, there are striking similarities between the experiences of Ariana and Cynthia and those of actors from The Wizard of Oz. That classic movie, much like Wicked, required its actors to undergo extreme conditions. Judy Garland, the young actress who played Dorothy, faced harsh treatment during filming. At just 16 years old, she was placed on a dangerous diet, restricted to very little food, and even given substances to control her appetite and maintain her energy. She was also forced to wear restrictive clothing to make her appear thinner. This intense pressure and mistreatment had severe physical and emotional consequences for Judy, yet she continued to perform under these harsh conditions. Other actors on The Wizard of Oz also faced challenges. Buddy Ebsen, originally cast as the Tin Man, had to leave the production after experiencing severe health issues due to the aluminum dust used in his costume. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, suffered second- and third-degree burns during a stunt that went wrong. These extreme incidents led many to believe that the original Wizard of Oz set was cursed, and fans now speculate that the so-called curse has carried over into the Wicked movies. The transformations and strange behaviors of Ariana and Cynthia seem to mirror these past experiences. The drastic weight loss, pale complexions, and overly protective interactions suggest that something intense happened during the making of Wicked. Some fans argue that the movie studios might have used extreme methods to ensure the actors fit their roles, possibly pushing them to their physical and emotional limits to generate hype for the film. Others believe there could be a supernatural or spiritual element at play, connecting the events to the occult themes hidden within Wicked. It's interesting to note that the story of Wicked is deeply connected to The Wizard of Oz, and the original author, L. Frank Baum, had ties to occult and theosophical teachings. His story, while presented as a children's fantasy, contained hidden spiritual and mystical symbolism. The Emerald City, Dorothy's journey, and even her magical shoes have deeper meanings tied to spiritual growth, enlightenment, and the connection between the physical and spiritual self. These esoteric elements, combined with the extreme demands placed on the actors, could explain why Ariana and Cynthia's behavior appears so unusual to the public. Both Ariana and Cynthia have openly discussed their spiritual beliefs, with Ariana even referring to herself as a witch in interviews. This has led to further speculation that their real-life practices may have intertwined with their characters in the movie, creating a situation where they fully embodied the roles they were portraying. Some argue that this deep immersion into their characters, combined with extreme physical demands, contributed to their visible transformations. Fans noticed that the changes were not just physical, but also psychological, as both actresses began acting in ways that seemed highly intense and protective of each other. Throughout the press tour and public appearances, these behaviors continued, fueling memes and online discussion. Cynthia's protective nature, which included reacting strongly to minor touches or fan interactions, became a key talking point. People wondered if these actions were rehearsed for the movie's promotion or if they were genuine responses influenced by the filming process and their spiritual connection to their roles. Whatever the reason, it's clear that Ariana and Cynthia are not the same as they were before the filming began. The parallels with Judy Garland's experience on The Wizard of Oz cannot be ignored. Garland's extreme weight loss, forced diet, and exposure to harmful substances are eerily similar to the transformations seen in Ariana and Cynthia. Just as Garland was put through intense conditions to fulfill the role of Dorothy, it seems that the actresses in Wicked were pushed to similar extremes. Whether this was a marketing strategy, method acting, or something related to the occult elements of the story, the results are striking. Some experts suggest that the original story's connections to theosophy and occult practices may play a role in these events. The Wizard of Oz and Wicked are both rich in mystical symbolism, with the narrative reflecting spiritual journeys, challenges, and transformation. If Ariana and Cynthia fully embrace their roles as witches, it's possible that their real-life practices were influenced by this spiritual immersion. Their appearances and interactions could be the physical and psychological manifestation of their characters' journeys, mirroring the allegorical and mystical themes in the movies. It's also worth considering the pressures of modern Hollywood. Actors often face intense scrutiny over their appearance, and studios sometimes demand extreme changes for a role. While this can lead to impressive performances, it can also result in harmful consequences. Ariana and Cynthia's transformations could be a combination of personal dedication, studio expectations, and spiritual immersion in their roles. The result is a complex mix of physical change, emotional intensity, and public fascination. The internet has played a major role in amplifying these events. Viral memes, clips, and discussions have turned Ariana and Cynthia into constant topics of conversation. While some of the content is humorous, the underlying concern about their health and well-being is evident. Fans continue to speculate about the so-called curse of Wicked, comparing it to the historical challenges faced by Judy Garland and others during the Wizard of Oz production. Ultimately, the story of Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo is more than just a movie. It's about the intersection of art, spirituality, and extreme dedication. Their transformations, behaviors, and the internet's fascination reflect how deeply actors can be affected by their roles. Whether it's method acting, studio pressure, or spiritual connection, the result is visible to everyone. As fans, we can only observe and hope that both Ariana and Cynthia are safe and healthy. Their performances in Wicked are remarkable, but the cost behind the scenes is significant.
The story reminds us of the sacrifices actors often make for their craft and the potential consequences when a role demands complete physical and emotional immersion. In conclusion, the unusual behavior and transformations of Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are likely the result of a combination of factors: the intense demands of filming Wicked, the spiritual and mystical elements of the story, and the pressures of Hollywood have all contributed to their current appearance and conduct. While the internet jokes and memes will continue to circulate, it's important to recognize the dedication and effort that goes into creating such performances. The parallels with The Wizard of Oz suggest that some challenges are timeless, and the connection between the story and real-life experiences adds a layer of intrigue to their journey. Watching Ariana and Cynthia, it's clear that they are more than just actresses. They are artists, fully immersing themselves in roles that require transformation on multiple levels.